Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, so, um, this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It's also for your cross watchers. It's also for the people who find themselves on this video just needing to hear whatever it is I'm about to say. I'm not sure what I'm going to say today, but I do know it's probably going to involve bad words. Not the whole time, but when the sentence needs to be enhanced. So I kind of want to just address this really quick. As someone who has suffered from throat chakra blockage for most of my life, because I've totally tried to cater to people's demands in regards to how I behave, how I present myself, how I communicate, stuffing down my truth non fucking stop. I don't appreciate someone coming on my channel, my sacred space, telling me how I should first be and who I am. I don't fucking think so. So now that we got that off our chest, let's go ahead and get started. Pisces, you have a power that you don't yet realize. Okay. Let's just take a deep breath. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have lived pretty much our entire lives catering to other people. That is who we are. We are lovers and caterers and caretakers. And you're going to get to a point where you'll realize no matter who you try and be, no matter how hard you try, there will always be people who will not appreciate the fact that you are living being, that you are an expression of divinity. Fuck them. Work on you, boo. Work on you. Today, we're going to talk about a few things that are probably going to be very, very intense. These intense things typically has to do with your growth. Okay. It typically has to do with really developing the way you see yourself, because the way you see yourself greatly determines the way you allow yourself to live. If you see yourself as someone who is an inconvenience, if you see yourself as someone who is not enough, unacceptable, intolerable, that's how you're going to continue to live. You have billions of people in this world, billions. First, who don't realize you're alive. Okay. They don't know you live. They don't know you exist. So therefore, you don't have their permission. You still exist. Screw that. There will also be billions of people in this world who will tell you the way you exist, even though you're not intentionally harming others, the way you exist is not acceptable. Fuck them too. Okay. And I'm saying this because guess what? Will these people back you up when you're in a corner? Are these the people who will support you and love you and protect you and defend you and raise you up to your proper place? No, these are the same motherfuckers who celebrate your downfall, who celebrate every single time you trip. Yeah, see, I told you. I told you about her. You didn't say nothing but your own disgusting toxicity. Nobody knows your truth but yourself. And every time you listen to someone else's distorted view of you, because really all you are is a mirror, as Pisceans and especially empaths as well, we have a tendency to serve as a mirror for what's in front of us. If you're surrounded by toxic individuals, you will also behave in a toxic manner. If you are surrounded by people who genuinely love and care, you will definitely be like that too. That's just human nature. It's human nature. So you have to be very careful of who and what you allow in. If you allow other people's insecurities and inability to exist in a authentic manner, if you allow that in, if you allow that to be your truth, you're powerful enough to make that your truth. Case in point, me, myself, I. For much of my life, I've been told I'm this, I've been told I'm that, I've been told this is the role I'm to play, this is the job I will fill, this is the. Tell me how many of those people supported me in my darkest hour? None. Because guess what? No matter the good intent or the ability to love of those individuals, at no point did they make me feel safe enough to be who I am, which is someone who needs other people. So, if we're going to go based off of how other people tell us we should be and what's acceptable for them and all of this other stuff, at what point do they allow you to be the weak one who needs other people to hold them up? How many times have you been the foundation? How many times have you been the crutch? How many times have you gone beyond being a crutch and fucking carried their ass without being asked to? How many times? When you live in that type of environment, Pisces and empaths, no one ever gives you permission to be carried. No one ever gives you permission to have a moment where you feel weak. Guess what? You don't need their permission. You don't need someone to carry you. And no, it's just a nice thing to know someone else can, someone else will. Do you need them to? Probably not. And I'll tell you why. It doesn't sound fair. No, it doesn't. But if you have the power and the endurance to carry everyone else around you, fucking time to recognize you can carry yourself. You have been. How many times have you told people what's going on inside? How many times have you allowed someone to see you cry? Not cry because you're feeling someone else's pain, but cry because you yourself are hurting. This is zero. It's also a megaphone to say, fuck that shit. Because now it's time for you to work on you. And I don't mean work on you because you're broken and flawed and shattered and no, no. I'm talking about working on the way you see yourself because you are perfect in this moment. I'm talking about taking the time to recognize the greatness that you have always been and that everything that you have gone through up till this point has been nothing but attempts by your soul to remind you of the greatness you have continued to be, regardless of your acknowledgement or acceptance of that fact. It's time. It's time. That's all I keep hearing. It's time. So people will say during New Year's, new year, new me. How about this? How about we change that? Okay. New year, more authentic me. New year, authentic me. More of that. More of that. Well, people might not accept me. Those are the people who don't need to be around you. But I get lonely. Well, answer me this. How lonely do you feel on a daily basis surrounded by the people who you consistently help? So, what's the difference? If you're going to be honest with yourself, I'm pretty sure you feel lonely in a crowded room of people you help and bend over backwards for. I mean, is that the truth? Does that resonate with you? Do you feel yourself trying to fight back tears? Because, damn, this girl's calling me out. I didn't want to tell anybody. I feel lonely in a room full of people who claim to love me because of what I can do for them, because of what I consistently do for them. And the only reason your life is the way it is because this is what you have consistently continued to choose. The people who benefit from you are not going to want you to hear what I'm saying. They are not going to want you empowered. What do I gain from your empowerment? Does that mean you're going to give me something? I'll be very honest with you. I gain a lot from your empowerment. It gives me purpose. It gives me drive. It validates me and my life. So, fuck yeah, I'm going to continue to empower you. That's my selfish deed of the day. What about these people who don't want you empowered? What do they benefit? That's a question you have to ask yourself. All right. Let us see. Yes. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Da, 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 da. All right. Let's see where this takes us. Ooh, card number 23, storms, cleansing. I think this is a period where many, many, many of us are crying, allowing our tears to purge out of us the very things that are causing us to continue to block our truth from rising. Do not allow someone to have the power and the authority to shut you up. Just like you have the right to speak your truth, they have the right to not listen and walk away. If they need you to be quiet, then they probably need a reminder. You don't need to share this space with me. You can walk away and not listen to me speaking my truth. But at no point do you have the authority or the power to shut me up. I mean, unless you don't want to speak. At which point, nobody has the right or the power to force you to share your truth. Because guess what? Your truth is so ridiculously powerful. To have been able to live so many different lives within one life. And the people who lack the mental capacity, and some might get offended by this, but it's the fucking truth for me. People will tell me, oh my God, Pisces so crazy. They're like multiple personalities. No, that's multiple lifetimes being lived at once. You're both the warrior, the sage, and the damsel in distress. You're all of those things all at one time. But guess what? At no point are you allowed to admit that you're the damsel. At no point are you allowed to put your weaponry down. But you have to be careful in how you use that weaponry and allowing other people to see that you are equipped for fucking war. Yet you never use your sword. Because heaven forbid people see the truth of your power. Pisces is such a multiple personality. Pisces is crazy. Maybe Pisces is going crazy because Pisces is sick and tired of being forced to play all these fucking roles for different people in order to be accepted, in order to be continued to misunderstood. I mean, people never understand you. Why is that? Because they don't allow you to be yourself. There is power in your sensitivity. There is power in your compassion and desire to help. There is power in your brute force insanity. And whatever face people see, that is who they ask you to be. Recognize that, Pisces. Recognize that as a soul, empath, anybody who is here sharing this space with me right now. Recognize whoever you are in front of this person is who this person asked you to be. Well, you're such a bitch. Why is that? You asked me to be a bitch in your ill treatment of me. And then you don't like me playing the role that you asked me to be. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. You don't give me the freedom to be myself, which is a kind, compassionate, patient person. Extremely generous. And when I cater to your demands for me to show you that aspect of myself, you get all upset. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. And it's not that I don't care. It's that I finally reached a place of empowerment that I'm very selective of what I care about. If it is something that is going to continue to drag me back to places within myself that I've already outgrown and traveled beyond, I'm not going to be sorry for walking away. I'm just not. Nor do I feel bad for not being sorry. I feel empowered. I feel empowered. Oh, I wrote something. Oh my gosh. Michael had me write this. We were having conversations. I have conversations with Archangel Michael often. He had me write this. I don't even know where I put it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, here it is. I am powerful, not because I can dominate you, but because I no longer feel the need to. Mm. If that is not the most humongous flex ever. Like, "Oh, you wanna compete? I'm sorry. You're not on my level. My level requires me to accept everyone as they are. There's no competition." I'm Yeah, I'm not interested. Do I need to prove that I can outsmart you, outmaneuver you, like, I'm more powerful than you? Every single time I reach a higher level of understanding of my power, I decrease in my need to prove things. I don't need you to understand anymore. I simply seek to share whatever it is my soul wants me to share. And if you're not willing or able to receive those messages, I hope you have a beautiful day. And if my truth offends you that much, I hope you have a beautiful life. I won't be missing you because I will always hold a part of your divinity within me. And I will always cherish the fact that you are a sovereign just as I choose to be. And I won't try and control you. I won't try and convince you. I'll simply continue walking like my soul asked me to. You will end up exactly where you need to be. Whether that's with me or not, that's not for me to decide. I am too busy listening to my soul, finally listening to my soul and allowing my soul to guide me to the connections and the places and the circumstance that I need to reach higher levels of potentiality. Instead of devoting our lives to trying to prove our worth, I think it's a better use of your time and your energy to devote your life to reaching higher and higher levels of your potentiality. Not to be able to show you've accomplished something, but to reach a level where you finally understand every breath is an accomplishment. Your existence alone, you've accomplished something. Your continued existence, wow, you are a condensed miracle made into a body. And this recognition that at some point there were one, two, maybe more, probably more individuals who prayed for your existence. And maybe you've already come across them, maybe you haven't. But the fact is, you are a prayer made into flesh. You exist for a reason. There wasn't any mistake when the details of your life, your character, your experiences, your reactions to those experiences, there was no mistake in any of that. And it's time for us to really, really shift the focus. If you're going to continue to give your power away by giving your focus away, you're never going to tap into your true potentiality. And it's at this point you have to decide for yourself, will I give myself permission to experience the highest potentiality? And allowing your soul to decide how you will experience that, not someone else, but your soul. Recognizing everything that happens to you is happening for you, and you might not understand it in that moment. You might not understand it tomorrow or next week, but at some point in your life, you will understand why events happened, why you had to hurt the way you did, why people had to walk away, why people had to walk to you. Why? But until that point, you have to continue walking. You can choose not to, but you know what happens? You continue to remain the same state of frequency that will continue to draw to you the same exact experience. Emmie, I don't understand why I keep drawing to me such shitty relationships. Well, have you walked forward from the last relationship, the one that caused you to feel relationships are shitty? Have you allowed yourself to heal yourself enough to walk forward from that? Because if you haven't, I mean, maybe the characters in that story have changed, but it's still the same story. It's still the same story. Michael is reminding me of the series, the Twilight series. Remember how they changed Victoria? That one vampire, Victoria. They fucking changed her mid series. They replaced her with someone else. It's still the same story though. You got to stop the whole series and move on from that in order to have a different story. You can change the characters, they're interchangeable. They truly are. And if people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe you said that. I mean, you're saying people are disposable. No, people are not. But their role in your life is not fixed. It's not fixed. That's a truth. We try and cling to this romanticized idea that once I've identified you as a specific role, you are now obligated to stay in my life as that role forevermore. And that's a lie. That's a lie. I fully embrace the truth of the fact that even though my marriage is amazing and I love my husband so much and he loves me so much, and I mean, it's over 20 years at this point, at any point in his life, he can choose to no longer feel that way. And I'll respect that. I'll probably cry. It's just I love him, but I'm not going to cling to him. I'm not going to force him to stay and be miserable because I'm miserable because I know he doesn't want to be with me. It's better to let people be free. And so once you put in your head, this person has to stay with me forever, you're going to find out the expiration date of that forever. Because now you're putting all of your growth on someone else's shoulders. It's their job to make me happy. It's their job to make sure that I'm learning and growing and having the experiences that I need to. And it's no one else's job but your own. It's no one else's job but your own. And it's not even a job, it's an adventure. Follow your own rhythm. Allow yourself to dance within your life. Allow the beat of your heart, the language of your soul, to be the very rhythm you use to figure out how to dance through your journey. Card number 1, expansion, North. This is a period where you're going to expand. Going back to the concept of you labeling individuals and telling them, okay, you're going to play this role in my life for the rest of my life because this is what I've told you. When it comes to expansion, if it's not within their ability or desire to expand with you, to rise in consciousness, they cannot follow you. You will continue to clash. You will continue to have a difference of opinion that will lead to this very unfair, unloving concept of I need to grow you. No, you don't. Knock it off. That's not love. That's not your child. And even though I have a ton of kids, hell yeah, I got a ton of kids and I don't even tell them what to do. I request when, I need their assistance or I need their cooperation. I request, but I don't dictate to them because they are sovereign beings. And the highest expression of love is freedom to be your authentic self. Anything short of that, I don't know that it's love. I really don't. So does that mean I'm saying the highest form of love is to allow someone to continue to be abusive to you? No. It's to recognize they are who they are. And I now have to put my own needs before their toxic behaviors. I can continue to love you from afar, silently. And I'm now walking forward without you. It's a very simple, very powerful, yet very painful thing to go through. But you're worth the process that you experience as you grow yourself, whatever process you go through to become the next evolved version of yourself. You are worth that process. You are worth it. Some people might not agree with that. That's okay because it's not for them. It's not for them, it's for you. You are worth whatever you go through to become a more powerful expression of your own truth. And sometimes the biggest expression of truth is walking away. Sometimes an even bigger expression of truth is recognizing when this person is healthy for you and you're walking away because you're afraid of the healing. It's going to be different for everyone. This is a general reading. It's going to be different for everyone. Whatever resonates with you is what your truth probably is. Whether it hurts you, whether it offends you, when you feel it within your own body, words from a random girl on YouTube, that's probably your truth resonating within you. How does she know all these things? I don't. I'm simply speaking aspects of my own truth. And all we are mirroring each other's healing journey. I might be at a different place, but that doesn't negate the fact that at some point in my life, I experienced a lesson very similar to what you're experiencing right now. And that's how I know, because I've lived through it. And just because we live through it at different moments doesn't negate the fact that it's the same lesson. We are here to learn the same things. And, at some point, you'll choose to learn or you'll choose to make it harder for yourself. Either way, it's appropriate for you. Well, Emmie, how can you say it's appropriate if I'm making it harder for myself? Well, when you go to the gym and you work out and you add more weights to that bar, you're making it harder for yourself. But it's appropriate for you because it grows you that much more. It's not my place to tell you to not put an extra plate on that bar because I can't carry it. Boo. A, you probably can squat more than me because my ass is non-existent right now. Does that mean I have to tell you, well, you can't have an ass either because I don't have an ass? Well, that's on me. I haven't continued my self journey. I haven't continued my self maintenance. That's on me. Your ass is on you. My ass is on me. I just made Michael facepalm. Okay, card number 42, the word wants to be written. Maybe it's time for you to begin writing out what your aspirations are. Like, no matter how crazy it sounds, just write it out real quick. Text it to yourself. Email yourself. Email yourself at least 3 things that you want to accomplish. Like, these are the things that your heart really like. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It sounds so outlandish and crazy, but it'd be fucking amazing if I experienced that at least once. If I got to that level, that would be so crazy. But it resonates. So text yourself that, email yourself that. And then one day you'll look back and you'll realize, shit, that's me. That's fucking me. How did I know? Oh my God. I guess I already knew this. I just didn't want to believe it, because who the hell am I? Who the hell are you not? I find myself saying a lot, who the fuck do I think I am? Being this honest, this publicly. That's fucking crazy. People don't want to hear this shit. They want sugar coated, like your twin flames coming back. Y'all gonna have a lot of babies and amazing sex. That's what people want to hear. Looking back, I never thought I'd be able to speak any kind of truth, much less speak. I don't like people hearing me talk. I don't like sharing my thoughts. But apparently my soul knows better than me. And whatever process I had to go through to get to this point where I can speak freely with no fear, no shame, no hesitation, knowing that whatever comes out of my mouth, it's what needs to come out in this video. And I can't restrict that anymore, because who the fuck do I think I am? Not delivering these truths that my soul has obligated me to deliver. Who the fuck do I think I am? That is not my right to withhold from you. It's not. But Emmie, I am what I am, and whatever that is, I'm still growing to understand what that is, and it might take me my entire life. And it is not fair of me to withhold from you your messages until I'm good and ready and in compliance. How about, as part of my self journey, my self healing, self love, self empowerment journey. How about I just share things that maybe I don't quite understand, but let me speak it into being and share space with you and allow you to help me learn myself through a process of reciprocal reflection. How about that? How about I acknowledge how powerful your presence is in my life just by sharing this space? And how about we take a moment to acknowledge you do the same for other people and you just don't want to admit it. You don't want to see it. You don't want to recognize the truth of your gravity, the gravity of your truth. You are powerful beyond what you are comfortable to acknowledge. Oh, oh, mm, and it's okay because you'll go through this process for the rest of your life, reaching higher and higher levels of acknowledgement. The power is already there. The greatness is what you're made of. And maybe it's time for you to recognize you're not in a process of trying to become something. You're in a process of undoing this belief that you're something that you really aren't. That's what your life is. The process of shedding the layers of pretense, of expectation, of internalized external projections. People are projecting onto you and you're internalizing it like it's your truth. It wasn't your truth until you allowed it in. That's just a fact. It wasn't your truth until you allowed it in. And now that it's in, do you think you're stuck with it? If you have the power to let it in, you absolutely have the power to remove it as well. Because creation loves balance. If you have a left, you definitely have a right. If you have an up, you absolutely have a down. If you have an in, trust that you have an out. Start using your equilibrium. It's time for you to choose and actively participate in the rebalancing and recentering of your life. And the people who need you to orbit them, they're going to find themselves fucking flung from center. And they're not going to like that. And that's okay. As long as you're living a life that you actually like, that's okay. Give them time to adjust. Give them time to recognize you're no longer my world. I recognize I am my world. And if in the time you give them to adjust, they choose not to, then you know where they stand with you. They stand outside of your world. So leave them there. Honor their decisions, honor their choices. Card number 44, life, visions of life beyond death. So, in order for you to reach the next person that you're growing to be, this evolved version of you, you have to allow for the passing of the current expression of yourself. How many times will you live and die in one lifetime? How many times will you need time to grieve the loss of parts of you? I'm not talking about parts of you because you've identified someone else outside of you as part of you. No, I'm talking about the parts of you that you identified yourself as, only to realize you were playing a role. You are simply catering to someone's unfair, unrealistic demands of who they want and need you to be. You're going to need time to grieve that. Not grieve the loss of the person, grieve the loss of the aspects of self. Your life needs time for adjustment. When you go from one way of being to another way of being, there is this concept that we're taught and told. It's like shoved down our throats about it's beautiful. You're a new person. Oh, you're higher level. You're high frequency now. Oh, no, 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 no. They don't say that. You're high vibe, positive vibes. Do you realize every time you reach a higher level of consciousness, you have to mourn the part of you that can't reach that high, and the people who couldn't join you in that next part of your journey. There are people who hold on to relationships and friendships from when they were children simply because it's been so long. So you're chaining yourself to your past. You don't even get along with people anymore for some of us. You guys, you have nothing in common aside from the amounts of time you've committed to each other. There's nothing left in common. There's nothing to enjoy together. There's no longer any support, camaraderie, or any of that. But you're loyal. What are you loyal to? Are you loyal to a connection between two individuals who no longer exist? Because as you grow and change, you become a different person. So, what exactly are you loyal to? Are you loyal to two individuals who no longer exist? The person that I was at 5 years old is not the person that I am at 10. The person that I am at 10 is not the person that I am at 15. The person that I am at 15 is definitely not the person that I am at 30. The person that I am at 30 is a pale shadow compared to the person that I am at 40. Shit, the person I am today is a whole fucking different person than I was last week. I was just looking at my face this morning. I'm like, ooh, I look different. What the fuck, bitch? You losing weight? What's up? you're glowing. What the fuck? Why? What's wrong with my face? What's different? Like, I don't know. And I said, just rock it, girl. Rock it. Just rock it. You'll figure it out. No big deal. You're still the same at your core, but you know, the expressions of your truth are slightly different. You're a little extra sassy today. This little extra like grounded in your center, like nothing's shaking you right now. And that's good. Maybe tomorrow I won't be so grounded and solid and maybe I'll feel insecure. That's good too. It shows fluctuation. It shows movement and growth. I mean, if you look at life, in order to live, you need a heart. In order to live, you need to breathe. The basics of medicine. When you are connected to the monitor, there's movements, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. That tells whoever's caring for you, you are alive. And then you look at how people expect you to live. They want you to be flatlined. They want you to be the walking dead. I'm sorry. There will be days where you will feel ridiculously fucking happy and days where you will feel so low and so sad. Both are normal and okay. I don't know, Emmie, but it's depression. Sadness? I mean, that's a clinical thing. That's a pathology. You think a change in emotion is disease? Or is that because that's what you're told? Because high vibes only, positive vibes only. I'm not going to cripple myself. And I really, really ask you not to cripple yourself either. You are here to feel everything, everything, the full range of motion and emotion through the rest of your life. Well, Emmie, that's like, oh my gosh, bipolar. Many of the sleeping shamans, modern medicine finds pathology within them. They're labeled as bipolar. They're labeled with ADHD. They're labeled with OCD. They're labeled on the autism spectrum. They're also considered schizophrenic. I mean, if you have the ability to hear and see, you're schizophrenic now. um, Being someone who was clinically depressed for quite a few years, um, I know the difference between feeling and actual depression. I know the difference. You know why? Because when I feel, I can rationalize, I can like, okay, what's going on? What depression? I just don't want to be alive. Why can't I eat? Why can't I sleep? Why can't I stay awake? Why does no one understand? Why do I keep choosing to be sad? You have no answers because you don't have the capacity to dive deep within yourself. There's a disconnect that's happened between the self and the soul. And out of pure love for you, your heart continues to beat, despite the fact that your human brain can't comprehend why you're still here. And Michael asks a question, which I think is stupid, but he wants me to say it out loud. Is it okay for me to cry? Why am I even crying? Because I feel. Because I know what it's like to have been there. And although I'm not there anymore, as a powerful soul, it hurts my heart tremendously to know there are so many there right now. And it's not my right, my job, or my obligation to take them out of the very hole that's helping them to learn more about themselves. But still, it hurts. And that's powerful. Because at no point can anyone tell me at this point, oh, don't feel bad for them. They're just being emo. I don't know why they choose to be like that. Are you fucking stupid? Do you have a dysfunction that prevents you from understanding nobody chooses that? I think you have more of a problem than the person who's hurting that badly. I think the fact that you can seriously, honestly be that way and think that way, you might want to look up organic portal. Yeah. Well, Emmie, how could you value someone who's so broken? Because they're a reflection of my human history. That's why. That's how. I value them because I understand what that process is bringing them to. A deeper and higher elevation of consciousness that makes them valuable to me. More valuable than the people who have never experienced that. That makes you priceless. You're a diamond in the rough. Why wouldn't I value you? The only people that don't value you are the people who don't understand or know what a diamond is. Because until it's cut over and over and over again and sanded until the surface level, your skin is gone, people find no value in it. Yeah. What makes me so valuable? What makes me valuable like a diamond? Well, because I existed buried in darkness, suffering under pressure. And when I finally found my way to the surface, life cut me over and over and over again. There was no shortage of individuals who were willing to cut me for no reason. None that my mind could think of. But I came to a realization one day, my soul allowed it, because every cut brought me closer to a state of a brilliant diamond. And now, no matter what, I shine. Even on a sunless day, I shine. No matter what angle you look at me from, I shine. Does it make me less that I've been cut? No. It actually adds to my brilliance. I'm not the only one that goes through this process. You're going through this process as well. Hold on, guys. I'm back. You're going through this process as well. And if people need to vilify me and talk shit about me in order for me to be able to let you know you're not alone in this process, I mean, I don't even listen to people, so it's no big deal. Yeah. Um, People have lost their courage to fuck with me. You know why? Because I'm not going to take it ever. Sometimes that means I will speak my truth to you with no hesitation, no shame, no blinking or stuttering. Sometimes it will be me walking away, not looking back. No maliciousness in my heart. I've outgrown you. I'm out. I'm not going to play this game with you. I'm out. Yeah. It's not that I think I'm better than you. It's that I have an understanding now. You're not where I need to be. I've outgrown that. And I don't need to force myself to be there. There's no point. So, card number 27, life, breathe. So there's the heart. The heart, you have no choice but to continue, right? It has to continue beating, continue beating. So long as you're here, you will continue to have the peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. The moment you flatline, you're no longer actually living. So that's the heart. Now, the breath, that one you can actually control. It typically continues even without your focus. But when you do focus, you can absolutely control it. Your breath is your word. Your breath is your manifestation. So long as you continue to hold your breath, hoping and waiting and praying for people to see the greatness that you are stopping the flow of your energy. You are stopping your ability to manifest, to speak into being the life that you deserve. So breathe. And in that breathing, you've loaded a charge of energy to speak your truth. So speak. Whether it's silently within yourself or out loud to others, speak. Even when you're afraid, even when you're ashamed, because now you're crying and people are going to think you're crazy or weak, speak. When you feel it within yourself, speak. Who cares if people are listening? Who cares if they're not? Who cares what they think? This is one of the things that Michael used to always have to tell me. Well, if I say that, what if they don't like, what if they just ignore it? What if they don't agree? What if they try and argue with me and tell me that I'm wrong? And all he would ever say, you're simply planting seeds. Once that seed is released from your hand through your words, it's up to them whether they're going to water it, whether they're going to just leave it alone. It's up to them. You've done your part. They can never unhear what they heard you say. Love them in such a way that sets them free to decide for themselves what they will do with these seeds, because these seeds can create beautiful gardens and orchards. Things that will create beauty within the garden of their mind, things that will grow orchards to nurture and sustain them for the rest of their life. But that's only if they choose. That's only if they choose. And you have to acknowledge enough of your power to understand your power is for you, to help you come to terms with the fact that you cannot control someone else. You cannot dictate to someone else how to receive your truth, because you never needed them to receive your truth in any specific way. You just needed them to witness it as a part of your process, as a part of the promise you made on a soul level to everyone in your life who will witness your truth at specific times. You made this agreement to allow them to witness it. And that's all you have to do. Live your life. Be yourself. Speak your truth when you're called to. Not to make other people understand or make other people agree, or who cares about any of that? That's ego based. And it's not that you have to kill your ego. is that you have to tell that little fucking monkey, get back in your goddamn seat and know your role, play your place. Ego exists for a reason. It brings your attention to the very things within you that need your attention. I have an ego issue. It's not what y'all think. When my ego flares, I feel very small, very weak, very powerless, and insignificant. And in that flare, that ego issue, it triggers my rebelliousness. When I feel that, fuck that, you're a bad bitch. We're a bad bitch. We're a badass. Just not right now. Right now, I kind of need to cry. Just a little. I just need 5 minutes. I will have 5 minutes to cry, and then I will release enough, and then I'm solid again. I'm solid, and I'm maybe a little bit cracked, but that's where the good juju leaks out. I literally have these conversations with myself where I find myself like, ain't nobody want to hear your shit, girl. You're so full of fucking shit. Just be quiet. Ain't nobody needs to hear this. Like, who cares? Many people do. Many people do. Whether you want to see it or not, many people do. I don't want to go live today because fucking no one even fucking listens anyways. Sovereignty. Like, I shouldn't be telling people what to think and feel. Shut up. Shut up. And no, no. Just because you don't value what you say doesn't mean you have the right to withhold from others the things their soul needs them to hear. You can do your ego issues on your own, but show the fuck up like you promised to do. And sometimes you need a few weeks. Sometimes you need a few days. Sometimes you can push right through whatever it is. It's what you need. It's what you need. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to fluctuate. You're not made of stone. It's okay to experience moments in your life where you recognize the rhythm of your heart, the peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. It's okay. You're going to be okay. So, card number 37, transitions. You have all of the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. So, here's the thing. What this card doesn't tell you is you can either cross that bridge or you can swim through the waters. You have options. Shit, if you're really going to be honest, if you're really, really, really going to be honest with yourself, you also have wings. You can fly, you can walk, you can swim, whatever the fuck you choose. It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm so sorry someone hurt you so deeply. I can feel your pain and frustration. Someone did hurt me deeply. It was me. I'm still in a process of learning to forgive myself for all the times in which I betrayed myself and my needs to cater to someone else. They're not bad people, but I have a history of being bad to myself. And although I don't have a history of physically harming myself, cutting myself, or any of that stuff, the emotional, mental pain is just as significant. And thank you for commenting that, because these are words that need to be heard. Hurting yourself is just as harmful and disrespectful to the sovereignty and sacredness of you as someone else hurting you, you hurting someone else. It's the same thing. You are just as precious, sacred, and needed as someone else. Absolutely. Absolutely. Card number 40, inner integration. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with a taming and tempering effect life has on us. You can tame yourself. When you tame yourself, you have the power to let your wild out of that cage whenever it needs to. Sometimes it needs to, sometimes it doesn't. But when you tame yourself, you realize You hold the key to that. You don't have to ask someone else's permission, nor do you have to be sorry when you let the wild out. Again, going back to what I said earlier in this live, this whole concept of people expect you to play the role they want you to play, and then they get upset when you play that role. This is who you asked me to be for you. And now you're mad that I'm being who you want me to be, yet you give me no permission or space to be my authentic self? I mean, y'all, this ain't no fucking Burger King have it your way. I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, I've been where you are at now. You need to look for a special friend you can trust. Honey, you haven't been where I'm at right now. The fact that you think I need someone outside of myself. I don't think you understand the words that I'm saying. I think you're seeing a reflection of your own hurt within me that you have yet to resolve. You haven't yet reached a level of maturity that helps you to understand your own process. I have. And both of our places where we're at individually are both okay. But the projection that you think I'm still some broken thing that needs someone else to piece me back together. I'm a fucking warrior queen that knows medic skills on the battlefield. I know how to stitch myself. I'm powerful in my own right, but it's a beautiful thing when I can share space with people. Lack of understanding on others' parts does not diminish the fact that my soul is a warrior queen and I am my own medic. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, card number 19, accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. Ooh, ooh. And here you go. When you allow someone else's misunderstanding to serve as rocks, additional rocks in that basket you carry, that's an additional weight you probably don't need to carry. You know, there's this concept of um, the more weight, the more resistance, the higher potentiality for growth, expansion, you know, spiritual hypertrophy. Um, I've come to a point in my journey, I just feel such a peacefulness within myself. I've come to a point where I recognize some of the rocks that I put in that rucksack, they don't necessarily have to be negative. There's a density about my happiness at this point. It's like it's not just some intangible thing, some energy outside of me that maybe I can tap into here and there to make myself happy. It's this living, breathing presence within myself now. My happiness is within me in this density. And if I so choose, I can use those happy bits of me to form rocks that I can put in my rucksack. And it's in that resistance to my own happiness because sometimes it's like I don't have a right to be this fucking happy within myself. Like nothing's happened outside of me to be this happy. I don't need something outside of me anymore. It's nice when there are things outside of me. It's nice when I can share things outside of myself. I could share with them this happiness for no reason other than because like it's fucking happy. But I don't need that. I I I don't need that. I can use boulders of pure joy for being alive, for being where I am on my journey, for reaching a level of understanding of self that I finally reach. And there's so far left to go, but fuck, where I am right now, it's like you've been climbing this huge mountain and you've reached a meadow that's halfway to the top. And although this meadow is at an elevation where the air is still thin, super thin, so it's hard to breathe, but fuck, it's beautiful here. It's so beautiful. There's just something within this space. It's a beautiful place to rest before I continue my climb. And that mountain I'm climbing, it's me. I can take my time. I could stay at that meadow for as long as I want. I can rush to the top, but once I get to the top, what else is there to do? Recognize there's more mountains within me to climb. I'm never going to stop climbing. It's an adrenaline rush. It really, really is. It's such a spiritual rush to be able to get to a place within yourself where there's so much shit that I should be pissed about right now. There's so much stuff that I should be frustrated with and disappointed by. Life work itself out. It always does. I will do my part. I will put in the energy I need to manifest a change in the situations that I should be irritated with, but I'm not. Life has a beautiful way of working itself out, always for the greatest good. And with that, I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable in the discomfort. I feel powerful in a state of powerlessness. Ooh, how many can say that? If we need to compare, how many can say that? How many have reached that point where you're disempowered right now, but fuck, I feel powerful in that? Because although I can't control the situations outside of me, I can absolutely control the circumstance within, my reaction and response to external things. That is true power. Pisces, you have the power. You have the power. You have to hold yourself accountable for what path you choose to take, for what you choose to put within your rucksack. I mean, shit, my rucksack should have some fucking electrolyte water. Like, I love mango juice. I would put cans of mango juice in there. I love fresh fruit. I would put a shit ton of fresh fruit in there. I would. I love beef jerky too. I would put beef jerky in there. I would put an extra blanket, a weighted one, because I like those things. Figure out what you want in your rucksack. Fuck that concept of the only thing you can carry with you is your pain and other people's pain. There's no rule that exists that says that. There are no rules for soul. There just is. And the only rules and limitations that exist are the ones you subscribe to. I'm unsubscribing to a lot of shit. I have. I have. You know why? Because I don't need that anymore. I don't need to fit in a box to feel safe. I'm okay in the wilderness of my heart and mind. I've lived enough to know I have all the wilderness survival skills that I will need to continue on my journey into myself. People will have their opinions. But the fact is this: no one has ever traveled the terrain of my life. So there is no guru. There is no teacher or guide. There simply is me. Wherever I choose to pause, it's right. Whatever stream I choose to drink from, it's right. If I choose to continue going instead of resting, it's right. There's nothing that will harm me within myself. The only thing that would are the thoughts, the limitations, the distorted beliefs, the malicious intent of other people. That malicious intent of others, it doesn't mean shit if you don't let it in. It just doesn't. Thank you, Rosalind. So, you guys, thank you so much for sharing this space with me. These past few days, sharing space with you guys has been ridiculously cathartic. Yeah, seriously. I don't know if it's from like oxygen deprivation because I had altitude sickness for quite a few days, like really bad. I should have probably gone to the ER. But yeah, it's been cathartic. Mm, mm. To be able to see aspects of myself, not just peek through, but saunter into the space. These aspects that I never thought I would ever feel comfortable even sharing a small portion of with the people that I trust. To see that goddess inside me saunter in and like, hey, that's some shit. That is that is some shit. That's some shit. You guys do that for me. You guys held space and made that possible. I'm all about giving credit where credit is due. And you guys affect my journey tremendously. tremendously. All of those who support me and encourage me and are vocal about their support, and even those who try and come on and say hurtful things, and all of it adds to my growth, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a very, very beautiful thing. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on your notification bell, join me when I'm live. In addition, I will be going live. No, 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 no. I'm not allowed to go live yet. I will be doing videos on TikTok. Yes, I'm going to be doing some TikToks for all the other signs, Pisces included, of course. Catch me there, same handle, Emmie Evolving. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.